Hello, everybody. My name is Tetrahedron, and happy belated Christmas, or Merry belated Christmas, I should say. Um, I hope you all had a great Christmas. We did. It was pretty normal, I guess, for the last couple weeks. My daughter's been really gassy and just dealing with being colicky, I guess is the right word. But she's such an adorable little thing. Um, Today, I think I just wanted to go ahead and talk uh, about this last week, my plans for the future, and maybe some things about the past too. Uh, so, I think I should start off on a happy note and go to a sad note and then end on the future. uh, so, happy note. I really enjoyed the movies that I've watched this week. Um, Along Came a Spider, we watched today. It was a fantastic movie with Morgan Freeman and probably a couple other people that I don't recognize. Um, it's very interesting movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I had to do some things before the movie ended, so I didn't get to see the ending. So I look forward to seeing the rest of that. And then I watched Soul. I watched it twice. It was a fantastic movie. I loved it. Um, Jamie Foxx does a really great job of playing Joe Gardner, and Tina Fey, I think that's her name, does a great 22. I believe is the Soul's name. Um, and it was a fantastic movie. The only question I have about that movie is what happened to the cat? Like, if you haven't seen the movie, pause because this is a spoiler alert. um, so pause it here, go watch the movie. You'll really enjoy it. But Joe Gardner does die. If you didn't realize that, then I mean, it is what it is. But Joe Gardner, and he meets up with 22 up in whatever the plane of existence is that they're living in. Um, so they get sent back and they get sent into these two bodies, his body and a cat's body, right? This is the only part that I really want to talk about because the ending I loved, but anyway, the the cat, where did its soul go? You know, like Joe Gardner fell into the cat and 22 fell into his body, but then all you see is the cat's body growing into that white ball of light that you see in those other souls go pzzz. That means the soul that was in that body is no longer existing, and that cat has no soul. That was that was the one thing I didn't know about. Either they should have corrected it, or um, I don't know, but that was a little weird to me. And then the ending, of course, I really enjoyed the ending. And it's kind of where I'm at right now in life, wondering like if my next gig is gonna make me happy, if I'm gonna be okay after the next big thing happens. You know, maybe I should just live and be happy with it and enjoy my life, which is the point of the movie. Uh, really great movie. Really great movie. Again, I said a spoiler alert. If you listened, I'm sorry, but really great movie. Uh, Me and my wife got a comforter, and we got a couple of sheets from family members, which was fantastic. I really thoroughly enjoyed that. And then we've got a gift card from my aunt, which is very helpful, very, very helpful to us. So I'm very happy about that. Um, so the thing, let's dip into the sour note right now. Uh, this last week has been a mix of emotions. I've been happy and sad and mixed all together, dealing with the emotions of having a baby, being a father, and then uh, dealing with uh, the feelings, you know, of like the baby blues or whatever they call it. I don't know, depression, mainly. Anyway, that's not the only thing that's been getting me down. Last year, this is, let me go ahead and put a disclaimer here because my family, I love them so very much. But bringing up bringing up my grandmother breaks a lot of their hearts. So if you're not ready to hear this, please tune out. Don't listen if you're not ready to talk about grandma. Because we I feel like she was a rock in my life. And I know it's tough to lose a rock, the support the that you're standing on. And I loved her very, very much. Um, anyway, last year around this time, we lost my grandmother, and it was a very saddening experience. Um, the night before, I was with my bros. um, and at the time, I didn't really know they were my bros. They're individuals that you don't really hang out with. They're your coworkers, right? But you needed a trip to kind of bring you together, and that trip happened on Christmas, and it was a fantastic trip. We uh, we had a great time. We connected. We had fun. Uh, it was the first time I was in the snow. It was the first time I hiked in the snow. It was it was a great time all the way around. Um, I left my wife here, and I went with the boys, and I got to experience something that I didn't know, that like that brotherly bond. That bond that's there is just, it's an amazing feeling. But at the same time, when I went on that trip, whew, I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of stress. When I went on that trip, it was like a life changing trip. I went without my shoes. I went with my shoes, I should say, and um, I didn't have the right apparel, and it was very cold and very, very wet. I was walking around, and my feet were just completely soaked. And luckily, the guys that I was with were kind enough to take me back to a shop to where I can buy my own boots and like an extra thick gloves and things with the little bit of money that I had. But it was worth it. we had a fantastic trip the whole time there. Um, but little did I know that whenever I left, I had received a phone call earlier that day that uh, I didn't know I was going to receive. Uh, After my trip, after I got home, I didn't think much of anything. I just went to sleep. Um, and then, not even an hour later, my sister knocks on the door and lets me know that my grandmother passed. Uh, and it's a terrible feeling when you lose a family member that was close to you for a very long time. Uh, after after hearing that, I went to go visit my parents, and we talked and we cried. It was just a lot to take in. And then we got a phone call from my uncle, not my grandfather, but my uncle, saying that we should all carpool together to go see my grandmother one last time. And that whole trip was an amazing thing to happen as well. For a sad day. Um, After about 3 or 4 days, the whole trip and everything had ended. I decided to listen to a voicemail that I had got, right? And it was from my grandmother. And it was a very saddening message. It said, "Pick up. This is your grandmother. Please pick up." And she called me earlier that day. Luckily, my wife was there next to me, and she consoled me through the whole thing. The whole reason I started this whole social media thing was to try to better myself because of my grandmother. My grandmother was a very sturdy rock, and she told me to rely on her, if I ever had a question, if I ever had any worries or anything, and when that rock is taken from you, you have to find a way to support yourself, I guess I should say. It told me that I need to grow up, is basically what I got from that. Um, it was an earth shaking experience, I should say. I miss my grandmother very much. Very, very, very much. She told me things that I needed to hear that I didn't want to hear, uh, and corrected me on things that I needed to be corrected on. And I love her very much. Very, very much. But the reason I started it at the beginning of this year, the YouTube, really devoting myself, I should say, was so this way I can better myself. And I've already said that twice or 3 times already. And I feel like I have done that. Not only do I have a daughter now that my grandmother would have loved to see, she would have loved my little girl. That's all they would ever talk about is me having a baby with my wife. And it happened. And it's very saddening that it happened this way. But I know she would have wanted me to continue to get stronger. And she was the rock, the platform where I have been, where I stood. And I want to show that in my daughter. I want to be that rock because my grandmother was such a sturdy rock. YouTube, Smule, and Twitter, all those things have allowed me to express myself, and I feel like they're helping me build upon something, that I didn't know I had. I feel very less self-conscious about talking on the camera now. I can talk to people much better now. I can open up a lot better now. I'm not afraid to say I sing or to share my experiences. And I look forward to making more videos of me sharing things with people. So, the next year, things I want to talk about for next year. I plan on being more disciplined next year. That is my goal. So, better eating habits, more exercise, and I plan on making more YouTube videos. I want to test it out for a year, of making a video twice a week, with or without editing. I don't care. But I need to be disciplined in those areas to make a commitment like I did with my wife in marriage, because it's something that I want to do, and I want to get better at keeping promises and commitments. So that's my challenge for myself for next year. And being disciplined is a great thing that I need, because I hate responsibility and I hate being anxious and depressed all the time too. And I feel like discipline is a way to help myself. If you have a differing opinion, please let me know, because I don't know. At the same time of saying all this, I feel a little lost. And I just want to find myself, Yeah. Well, I've been talking for 19 minutes now. And I feel like I've communicated a lot. If I hurt you in any way, to my family members, I apologize. But I had to get it off my chest so you can hear it. And I felt like this was the right thing to do, because I wouldn't be able to communicate it with you over the phone or in person. It's not something that's easy to talk about in person. Yeah. I know next year is a big year because this last year has been crazy with coronavirus, with my grandmother, with work, with everything. And I want to look forward to a better new year next year. So that's what I'll strive for, is being happy throughout the whole year next year. Um, Let me know your thoughts or, questions down below. Or if you could even hear me, I hope you can hear me. Uh, it's been a long week. My next video, I think I'll better go over my plan for the future. But for now, I think that's where I want to leave off. I hope I didn't dull your day or break your heart too hard. Uh, I love you all so much. You help me express myself and talk, and it just means so much. Thank you for letting me be real, because sometimes we put on a mask that we feel fake, and I want to break through all those, and this is the way to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know down below. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.